Hi friends, good evening. This is Ankit, your host, joining us from Delhi. We have Nick joining us from Raleigh, North Carolina. We have Kimberly from Raleigh, North Carolina. Good morning to America and good morning to the world. And welcome to Business Monday, Economic Day Monday. And we have a great lineup today. And our first special guest is already there waiting for us. So let's invite him.
Rana
Hi,
from Malaysia.
Hello.
how are
Hello.
you?
Hi,
Yes. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're at, and what's going on.
Okay. My name is Sharif Uddin Ahmed. Basically, just recently I finishing my PhD from Malaysia, and I working for Free Zone Group. This is actually a project management consulting company. So in Asia Pacific markets, in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore's and this kind of countries, even in South Asia, India, Bangladesh, and Pakistan. So we do project management and consultancy, and we do market research and this kind of things. Yes, in the coronavirus, there are many different history in the business arena. So we are trying to solve these things from Asia Pacific markets, especially from Malaysia. And most interestingly, if you observe the Taiwan, Malaysia, like Vietnam, this kind of country, you find that very effectively they solve these COVID-19 situations. So maybe today I can share something with you about this point, especially is I love to do contribution of the economics and financial issues and the business related things.
That
Yeah,
sounds good.
actually can by sharing the screen. But first of all, explain to our audience what is a free zone group.
Exactly.
Okay. Basically, Free Zone Group, we are purely research, coaching, and consulting companies. So
Mhm.
we have a very strong ecosystem in South Asia and especially in Asia Pacific market.
Mhm.
So there are different kind of project developments. You know, if you can focus on this market, you find in the macroeconomics level there are some tremendous growth. Malaysian economy step by step they are moving forward as a developed nations. Even you saw Indonesia, and interestingly Indian market always they playing a leading roles, as well as if you focused even in Bangladesh market, you find that macroeconomics level they're doing a tremendous job. So with government, with different kind of local corporation from these countries, as well as universities and research centers, we playing a very strong role
Mhm.
for developing power plant, developing smart cities, different kind of developments we are doing. When we arrange conference, let's say for a smart city and this kind of things, as well as we try to help different local corporation to build up their business.
Mhm.
So we last 10 years we have a very good record. We help different kind of interestingly different business organization. We help them to build up their business, and financing, investment, this kind of things. We also help them.
Mhm. What city in Malaysia are you in?
Malaysia basically, I told you, Malaysia basically, if you focus, like example, what I doing in Malaysian market,
Mhm.
Malaysia is trying to improving tech related activities.
Mhm.
Let's say in COVID-19, if you check, if you do research, you find that COVID-19 in that situation, Malaysia playing a very good role.
Mhm.
And if you see that how they overcome from this situation, they control. Even you compare to Singapore and Malaysia, Malaysia control it very well.
Mhm.
So here's actually in COVID-19 situation, let's say drone is playing a very good role. Let's say like our financial transaction systems, it's also playing a very good role. Healthcare's, we trying to get involved with China and trying to give the proper medical services, and government actually do many things
Mhm.
side by side. Local corporation, they're trying to contribute.
Okay.
Let's say now e-commerce playing a very good role. Let's say Sunway Group playing a very good role for e-commerce. So now small medium enterprise and all of the things, they are going inside this Sunway Group, Lazada. So as a consultant, we help them to integrate it with this kind of policy like high-tech engineering, market research, bringing the big companies, financing, this kind of thing. We basically integrate it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, you can actually share what you have on on your screen. There's a little button below there that says share
Yes, yes.
screen. So you can actually, now for me, I have a rough time doing it, but I'm not an IT guy. Okay, but if you're an
Yes, yes.
IT guy,
Yes, yes.
you can actually press the button share screen and it'll share your screen. Ankit knows
Yes,
that.
sir.
But Ankit lives
Thank
in Delhi and has 1.3 billion Facebook followers.
Yes,
Or
yes.
something like that. Friends, I don't know. You know.
Yes, yes.
But we live in the United States, so we don't do very much over here. You know?
Yes, yes, yes. I know. Even though actually with US company, we do different kind of activities as well.
Yeah, I think you're the first person from Malaysia on our show, by the way.
Yeah.
Is that correct, Ankit?
Yes,
You know,
it
I was wondering if we were broadcasting in Malaysia.
Yeah, he's from Malaysia.
Yeah, see, now I got to learn all about your country, so I got to go to Wikipedia and find out about Malaysia. I know it's over there somewhere.
And I'll tell you,
It's way over there on the other side of the world. What?
Malaysia tagline is truly Asia. That is what Malaysia is all about.
Yes.
Do you have good beaches or good food? I mean, I've never been to a Malaysian restaurant. I don't know if they have.
Yes. Yes, true. That like example, here Malaysian people, they are very friendly. They are like to welcome foreigners, and yes, there are very beautiful beaches, hotel,
Hey,
restaurant.
I just noticed something. You have a flag that looks like the American flag. Check it out, guys. In case you didn't know. Come on, narrow-minded Americans, look at that flag. Can you believe that? Wow.
Well,
Okay, and you have friendly people. Okay, if he has friendly people, he ain't like the U.S. Okay, so that's in the right direction. I'd rather hang out with you guys than hang out with the U.S. people. But anyway, I live here, so what can you do?
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Okay, so you're on the Malay Peninsula. All right. The island of Borneo. Well, that sounds very exotic. Is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Really? You got good beaches?
Yeah.
It says it's known for its beaches and rainforest. Wow. This could be a good place to go visit. And there's a capital called Kuala Lumpur.
Yes. Actually, even I have American friend here. Even in my condominiums, he comes from California. I think he's a preacher. So he said, I sold all of my house and everything, and I come to Malaysia. I want to live here. Malaysia is a beautiful place. Anyway, but you can come. We can invite you.
Wow, there's 31 million people that live there. I mean, that's like the size of the state of California. You know?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I mean, Ankit, we could do a whole show on Malaysia because people in the U.S. we don't know anything about Malaysia. Let's get real. Okay, you have one guy from California who lives in the whole country. Okay, you probably never ran into another American. There's one American, you know, who had to be from California, which is a very strange state here anyway. And he goes to Malaysia and goes, "Wow, look, there's a country over here. Wow, amazing."
Yes.
Okay, 31 million. And Ankit, true though, when we talk to the Americans and we tell them about the populations of these countries, do they have any clue? Do they have any clue, Ankit? No,
I don't think so. Yeah,
they don't even have a clue. You know what I mean? The U.S. is so into itself that like we don't even recognize other countries. So it's good to have Malaysian people here. That's
we don't even recognize each other.
Yeah, we barely recognize each other. You know, you're a PhD student. Okay, our average viewer.
Wait a minute. So time out. He said he's graduating this year. So congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You're graduating?
I understand how
I didn't think there was any degree at the end of that rainbow. The PhD is like way out there that no one ever gets. You know, it's like, here you go. You're going to get a PhD.
That's a lot of work. And, you know, I've been on the board of advisors for North Carolina State University, and we actually, just before shutdown, were able to have the graduation luncheon for the PhD students because, you know, they put in a lot of work, and I was so happy we were able to do that.
Right.
How has this impacted your education and the information that you're getting? Are you going to get to graduate in March?
Yes, basically, in June, we have the convocations.
Really?
So let's see. Basically, now there are controlled environment in Malaysia. Even we say CMCO. So there is a controlled environment. So university, if they can do it, so we can finish this thing on right time.
But one thing, like I know both of you actually from educational background. I saw that
Yeah.
you involved with universities. So,
I teach at Northeastern. I'm actually a professor there, and I actually do have a
He
Juris
used
Doctorate
to
degree.
teach at Campbell University Law. So
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
yes.
And I actually do have a Juris Doctorate. You know, it's funny because over here, I don't know if they have it over here. Juris Doctorates, lawyers, and
Yes.
PhDs don't get along. It's like mixing oil and vinegar. So you can teach at law schools, you can teach at graduate business schools, but they won't let you teach at their business school generally.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
Northeastern, because I have a specialty and qualified plans, have this little niche. So they put me on faculty about 10 years ago, and I haven't left
Yes.
because you ever get on faculty, it's like, something that you will never leave, basically. But and our viewers, a lot of our viewers are medical doctors and people PhDs. So we have a lot of people that have high education that listen to smart television, IBM TV, which means we don't have a lot of viewers because there aren't a lot of smart people. Well, I didn't say that, but it's true. Okay, so but you have something to share, Rana. I mean, it's great to have somebody from Malaysia, PhD, and I'm learning a lot about Malaysia.
Yes. Interestingly, like example, in my PhD program, I actually get many friends from different countries. I do like my research on the academic sectors in Malaysia.
Sure.
I do research all of my I do specifically research on glass ceiling factors in Malaysian market. So with this glass ceiling factor, how we create impact in Malaysian university. But
do you ever go to ssrn.com, Social Science Research Network.com?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, here's the interesting thing, Rana. I'm just going to let you know.
Yes.
SSRN.com. I tell all my students about it because I go, because I never heard of it. Okay. Now, these are graduate students in America.
Yes.
Okay. And they go, what is it? I said, well, it's the largest depository of academic journals in the world. Okay, seriously. Yes. And it's all online on a place called ssr.com. And these professors write on all sorts of weird topics. And you can find it. It's accessible on ssrn.com. I'm actually in the top 10% of authors, which tells me, because I'm an adjunct, that these guys out there that are teaching aren't doing a lot of research and work, because I should not be in the top 10% as an adjunct. I should be in the bottom 10%. Okay.
Yes.
So these professors really need to get to work on their academics and start doing more research and publication, in my opinion.
Yes.
But anyway, I think it's a great place to research. So I tell people about ssrn.com. If you got issues and you want to research some technical issue on anything almost, go to ssrn.com. Great place. And you know about it, but that's because you're in academia. As you get outside that world, they don't know. Also, people in academics tend to travel more. In other words, people with higher education travel a lot more than people as you go down the education rank. Yes. But I have not been to your country, Malaysia, yet. It's on my list. It's on my list.
Okay, definitely. We're gonna invite you. Any of the conference, all of you, we're gonna invite, and hopefully we can make a very good contributions in the research, because you are from academic area or in the business fields, any kind of consulting opportunity. Definitely we can think about it, because
I've never been to Kuala. Be very interesting.
We can exchange our thoughts, our view. Even I love to learn. I love to learn from all of you, because always I try to get something. So what I'm talking about, like Malaysia, most interesting thing is that in my, like when I started my PhD, I getting many students from Middle East, from South Asia, from Australia, from Europe. I get many friends. So with my friends, actually, I learn different cultures. Like I can interact with the different cultures, different cultural point of views. And interestingly, actually, even from my student life, when I was in undergraduate, I attended the debating community. So yes, I attend in the World Debating Championships, and I attend in the Oxford Ivy and the Cambridge Ivy.
Wow.
So World Debating.
Did you get to go to Oxford?
Yes, I was.
I actually did part of my law study at St. Edmund's Hall at Oxford University, so I'm a little familiar with it. You know?
Yes, even under the European unions, they have the programs, we go and visit theirs. And interestingly, even though, example, in Malaysia. Like
Yes.
example from debating community. We even previously we get ministers as a youth minister who was a young minister here. So very interesting that this community we find we actually involve with many cultural people.
Yes.
So when we involve with many cultural peoples, that is the most interesting in our learning
I totally agree.
part.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
example,
right.
from your cultures and from my culture, maybe there are many differences. But when we integrate it together, then we can create something new, something big.
Yeah,
something
it's
bigger.
exponential. I mean,
So,
yeah, no, there's no question. And
Yes,
Malaysia, Kim should be on her list. They have 31 million people. 31
Yeah.
Well, and
million.
I'm going to show you some interesting statistics here because, we are.
We need to do a whole show on Malaysia. Do you know over here, because they have Rick Steves Europe, so he travels through Europe and he talks all about Europe. So I kind of got a background of what goes on over there. Okay, now Malaysia.
Here you go.
Okay, are they up here anywhere?
So yeah, they're right here somewhere. I had them up.
There's that
Malaysia right here, right underneath Australia.
Right underneath Australia.
Oh, you're kidding me. Australia hardly has any deaths. Gosh, Malaysia hardly has any at all. Unbelievable. Because they had Australia. See, Australia gets on the news here a lot for whatever reason, maybe because of Willie Hill. We have a guy from Australia who's on almost every Wednesday and a lot. And they were telling it what a good job they did. And I'm going like, wow, only 97. Malaysia, only 109. Are you kidding me? With that population base, that's a tremendous job.
Look at their per 1 million is only 3. I mean, there were 3 deaths at one, per million, right?
Yeah.
3 deaths per million. And I'm not going to say only because any death to me is sad. It's not, it shouldn't be, so I really try to avoid saying only, but that is phenomenal.
Yeah, because if see, one of the key things, is the total cases per million off to the right. And that is really very low.
When you look at it,
wow.
At ours,
Rana.
Right. Yeah. Well, it just shows you the different cultures, right?
Yeah, you should be proud of your country. You aren't like the U.S. Look, we kill people off like crazy here, but that's kind of the way it is.
Well, we're 244 per million. Spain is, even though we have, we're really close to
80,000. It'll go over.
Yeah, we're close to 100,000. I don't think we'll exceed 1 million. But unless we just re-engage and re-enter and don't pay attention to what we're doing.
Yeah, but
I have to ask, is this a big topic in your country as well, Rana? Is this a big
Yes.
It is?
Coronavirus. Hey, Rana, we really need to have you on to do a whole special on Malaysia. I mean, I'm so ignorant about it, and I was trying to figure there's nowhere to go. I might have to pull a travel book. I mean, seriously, I know nothing about your country except you have a flag like the U.S. flag, and that's about it. And you guys get no love over here in the U.S. They'll talk about Australia, but Malaysia, and you have a flag that looks like the United States flag. I didn't even know that.
Yes.
So we'll have to bring you back on and do a whole special on Malaysia.
First things I want to say, it's not fully developed nations. We are still struggling, then step by step we are improving. This is number one. But in terms of like infrastructures and other things, as we are very near to China and Singapore, so infrastructure and other things, this is I think it's a very good position if you visit Malaysia. And technology, I think your most interest part in technology because startup and this kind of things you are working. If you visit, let's say in Cyberjaya is a very they are just trying to follow Silicon Valley.
Really, we actually have a whole day dedicated to startups on Wednesday.
Yes,
we have Startup Wednesday to promote startups around the world. So we want to bring them on. I didn't even know there was a city that was engaged in startups in Malaysia. Did not even know that.
Yes. So yes.
Yeah,
anything?
Please go ahead. I'll ask questions once you finish.
Okay. You say no problem.
So what I was because I've been to Malaysia a couple of times, but every time when I was traveling, I just take a flight and then just wait at the airport and then go to a different country. But I've been to Singapore. So how Singapore is overcoming what's happening in Malaysia, because people talk about Singapore and Singapore and Malaysia are like neighbors.
Yes.
What are the difference between Singaporean as compared to Malaysia? And also,
Yes.
are you from Malaysia, or you have shifted to Malaysia from some other country?
No. Basically, I shifted. I told you I shifted. Even I shifted here, but last 5 years I stayed there, and I have a strong integrations with this economy. Okay.
Okay.
And second things, what you are talking about, the Singapore and Malaysia. So actually, historically, Singapore and Malaysia, they are together. Okay.
Yeah.
So when they are actually like they just separate. The major issue is economical factors. Okay, that
Okay.
time Singapore thinks that they should separated themselves because of the economical issues and other things. But I think they have a very good understanding and very good business relationship. Even I definitely, you visit Malaysia and Singapore, you find that people doing office in Singapore, and the evening they're going back to Johor Bahru. Okay, so this kind of interesting things happen. And culturally, one thing I just want to share with you, that Malaysia actually a peaceful country. People here is very peaceful.
Oh, you don't
And,
have guns on every corner like we do here in the U.S.? You ever see the
No.
shootouts? Okay, you see the shootouts on those westerns, but let me tell you something, buddy. That's real here, buddy. It's every day. You don't have that over there?
No, here people is very peaceful. That's
But
what I'm sure.
Rana, but there is one news. I mean, a couple of years back regarding that Malaysian airline, and after that there was some kind of disturbance around the world regarding Malaysia. What happened?
I know about you want to try to talking about Malaysian Airlines, right?
Yeah.
Just Malaysian Airlines, some sort of problem and other things.
Yeah.
One thing, even in that situation, one thing I want to say, yes, it's a big issue, it's a macro issues like international politics and other things. I am not the right person to comment on that point. But even though any situations actually, even I have experienced at least 30 countries I visited. I try to learn, and I can compare. If you try to understand the local economy, local community, local perspective, even if you find that Muslim peoples, Indian people, Chinese people, we call Bhumiputra, different cultural people stay together. And they have yes, we are human, we cannot say we are 100% correct, but culturally they are very nominal issues, very small issues they have. Like you cannot measure that they do this kind of thing. Let's say this COVID-19 situation, government just rule it, you cannot go outside, everybody inside, everybody. Okay, you can hear many news from newspaper, this that, but I want to say here people is very disciplined, very obedient with their government rules and policy, and they're peace lover. So
wow, that's not the U.S. at all. Reverse all those. Obedient? No way. Peace loving? Get out that 6-shooter. Okay, and whatever else you guys do, it's welcome to U.S. of A. Yeah, what you see in Hollywood, that's just.
I mean, are they doing things like wearing masks and?
You guys wear
100%. 100%. If you want, let's say
okay.
like
I'm sold.
Hey,
you guys have good,
wearing masks.
You have good food.
I hope my family's listening. I hope my people I know.
They don't listen over here. They got no listening.
No one. Everyone I spoke with over the weekend. I'm not wearing a mask. Why should I? The president does it. This is no big deal.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it.
This is
well, that's the reason 80,000 people died here and only 100 over there. I mean,
that's what I told them. Take a look at the data.
And you know what? Here's the real problem, Rana. They don't recognize, wait, there's another country besides the United States of America? No one told me that.
Well, here's my other favorite.
Malaysia. Where's that? They don't even know where it is. Now, Rakesh over there, who's from Hong Kong, actually he's a Kiwi, keeps going back. He's not sure if he should live in New Zealand or Hong Kong. He'll make up his mind someday when he grows up. But for him, you're a neighbor. You're like right next door, Malaysia, Hong Kong, close by. For us, you're across the other huge pond, and that's past Hawaii. And if you go past Hawaii, we all know that the earth is flat, and you just fall off the end of the earth. So there's nothing over there. Malaysia, so we have no clue where you guys are. So we're going to have to do a whole show, Kim, on Malaysia.
Well, I just also want to know, in Malaysia, did they fine people for not wearing the mask? Did they give tickets or anything like that?
Yes, basically there is a government law. When they started the MCO, they said if you go outside, 6 month jail and 1,000 ringgit penalty. Yes,
Oh,
few of the people creating this term. This is true, but it's very nominal. Uh, that's what I'm sure. I can at least compare the culturals things.
yeah.
No, I
So
think it was
here,
smart.
That's the reason.
I think it was smart. And here, my friends and family who choose not to wear a mask because they don't have respect for other people is their other thing was is well they don't find us in the
But the
US
thing,
if we don't wear it, but they did that in other countries. So
there's a study done on it because I have an N95. If you have an N95 mask and the other person has an N95 mask, it reduces your probability of getting infected even if one had it to 1.2%. If you have a mask, they don't, it's 5.6. If you both don't have masks, go to the hospital. I mean, it's just stupid. But see, over here, we have 80,000 people who have died. You have 100. And even if you multiplied your country 10 times and you're equal ours, technically we should only have 1,000 people die if we followed your rules rather than 80,000. So guess what? Who made the mistake? The U.S. of A. And we
it's
have
not a mistake. We
largest,
lack respect. We have absolutely no
we
respect.
have the largest and
whatsoever.
most expensive healthcare system in the world, and this is the result. And so I
We
tell
have the rudest.
oh yeah,
rudest
you know, and all the stuff you
attitude.
talk about your country, I ain't like it over here, buddy. So the people go, I want to go to America. They haven't been here yet. I mean, all these people want to immigrate here, really don't understand here yet. Okay, they're better off there. They just don't know it.
Well, that's
So
what I've been doing. I have people every day who write to me, "Can you help me get a visa to come to your
you
country?"
don't want to keep here. Okay,
And
I want to go. I want to go here.
come here. Here's the data. And
You guys have good beaches. You have good food, right?
good beaches,
Good food, good beaches. Do you have golf courses?
yes,
Okay, you have
yes,
that.
exactly.
So you stay.
Yes,
Why do I
yes.
come here? You got good food, good beaches.
and they can get an education. It's not like they're restricted from being educated or anything.
Yes.
Mm.
Even in Malaysia, I think MIT doing their operations. It's not far from my house. Like
Wait.
MIT,
MIT is over there?
yes, MIT has a collaborations with university
Oh, I didn't know
like
that.
MISI, Malaysia Institute of Supply Chain
Okay.
Innovations. They have a collaborations with, even it's not so far from my house,
Really?
like
Okay.
20 minutes drive.
Right.
So even MIT professors, they come here, they teach theirs.
Wow.
Even Asian business schools, they're providing MBA under Bank Negara. Bank Negara is a central bank Malaysia.
Right.
So MIT professor like you, they come here and they teach here. Even I find interestingly some big political profile. They also engage with teaching here in Sunway University. I think like Deputy Prime Minister from Netherlands here. They naturally they come and they engage with education. So hopefully you have a good opportunities in Malaysia as well, especially in education industry and tech industry. So
And Rana, you have been to 30 countries. So what is the difference? I mean, you have compared in terms of economy and education on out of these 30 countries and your native country when we compare about Malaysia.
okay. Most importantly, I have a strong engagement with Europe. Especially, I told you in Oxford University and Cambridge University, I have it. Definitely, they are best, undoubtedly. But issue is that if you compare the living standard, you compare to the Europe and Malaysia, I can say that Malaysian living standard definitely higher than European people's. Even my family member actually live in New York. So even they live in Canada and some of them living in Europe and Australia. Anyway, so basically here living standard is good. Like you can afford everything. And what I told you, what I loved here people is peace lover. Like
Wow.
you can interact with the people. Religion here is not a problem. Okay, you can go to mosque for prayer. Even you can go for bar, no problem. It's up to you. It's an open country. But nobody actually like personally like try to involve with you personally. So it's your personal life. These things I like, and how I think the living standard. This is good. Research wise, I told you that example MIT. They are trying to developing their universities collaborations and these things in Malaysia.
Mhm.
Even example, different university, not only from USA, European university. Yes,
Northeastern.
yeah. Okay. So, this kind of universities, they actually come here. Sorry,
Oh, yeah.
sorry,
You can take a break if that's the
no,
president
no,
of
no, no.
Malaysia who's
Okay.
calling you.
And
No, no,
Right?
no,
Because you're the
no.
ambassador of
the
Malaysia, right?
thing that I understand though is
Rana, you're the ambassador from
No,
Malaysia, right? So the
no, no.
president's calling you.
I can just compare. Like example, first my undergraduate time, I tried to explore different country, different university, different opportunity. Then I think about Malaysia. Then I come here. I started my education. Then I integrated with this economy. I tried to explore my business opportunity. I build up my business. So like whole development procedures, I can compare.
Mhm.
So that is my learning. That is my learning from the economy. So it's not I'm very good lover from Malaysia. It's the truth. Even if you visit here and if you come here and if you integrated with this economy, you find. And many countries people actually come here. That we are not far from China. We are not far from India. So like many people actually come here. So I told you at the beginning, we arrange conference. So many scholars from South Asia, from Asia Pacific, from Europe, they come and we get together. So that is the things. So first we need any places where we can learn, we can utilize, and we can be part of this. And here government system and everything, I do not want to say 100% correct, but if you compare, this is very efficient and it has good future. That's what I'm sure.
Wow. Yeah, I mean the thing is, it sounds to me like you've got a really great country over there that people in the U.S. don't know anything about. Like I said, I think the
Yeah.
Petronas Towers are in Kuala Lumpur. Is that it? The Petronas, the big towers,
Yes,
right?
Petronas Twin Tower.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, right. But see, when the Baj took over in Dubai, then it knocked the Petronas Towers out, and then no one
Yes,
looks
yes.
at Kuala Lumpur anymore. But the Petronas Towers are very, very big, and I think what we need to do is we need to do a special on Malaysia because, like I said, over here you guys get no press, no love. What's that? I mean, it's just if the Americans started coming on, we asked about your, hey guys, have you heard of Malaysia? Oh. So what I do, no kidding, Rama, I take out this. There we go. Look for Malaysia and see if
Okay.
you can find it on a map.
I think too what we need to talk about though is how the fact that countries such as Malaysia or even Hong Kong, they really didn't do a formal shutdown. What they did was a formal common sense and common respect for other people. So their economics they're not struggling like we are. They might have some struggling, but they've continued on with life. They're having their commencement exercises. Their students are going to get to not just graduate, but probably enter jobs. So these are things that we need to take a look at. The numbers tell everything. The data says everything, but you're looking at all these different cultures. They didn't shut down. They could have had a massive spread of the virus, and they didn't. So these are the things too that we need to take a look at is how respectful their culture is for one another, and how that particular respect, but also common sense. Oh my God, this look at the data. It screams common sense. The cultures in
Well,
other
the
countries,
data shows that they've done the right thing with
right.
about 100 deaths on 30 million, and Australia's done the right thing, less than 100 deaths, but they only have like 24 million people, and they're both running the same. And then we're completely like out of control. But I remember that when this whole first thing struck, that they said, "Oh, you don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to do this. You don't have to." I mean, we're almost like in total denial, and so we're getting the results. And even today,
it's about liberties. People here in America think that they are so self-entitled with their rights to liberties
right?
that they don't think about other people. And
Oh yeah,
we
that's
left
true.
the golden rule many years ago, and we took the golden rule out of school, and we took prayer out of school.
Yeah.
It just there is if you have all of this liberal rights, but there's no common sense. I mean, I'm listening to people talk over the weekend about, yeah, I don't have to wear a mask, and in America they don't fine us, so no big deal, and the president doesn't wear a mask, and I'm like, yeah, well,
yeah. So the thing is, the results are 80,000 people, and we believe, I think we made a prediction months ago that they're going to be over 100,000 by the end of the month, and I think we're well on course to do it. And because of these liberties and our economic drive,
we've lost our economics.
Well, the thing is,
$2.2 trillion in debt.
Okay, what is what is American driven on? You have it in your possession. So.
Yeah.
There we go.
No,
there we go. Okay,
here's my speech.
You guys.
Here's my speech.
Oh no. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I'm just going to educate.
Right.
There we go.
Here's my speech. The top 1% has more money than the bottom 90% combined. The top 1% controls what we do.
Yeah, that's true.
And they are the ones who are going to.
Hey, speaking of America, we just have an American who just joined us, Tom Snell. Hey, Tom. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
The few Americans on this morning. I'll introduce you. There's Kim up to the left. She's from Raleigh. Ann Kitt is